Hello, here we are. I hope that you can see me okay because I'm in Zoom and you're watching YouTube live stream. So hopefully that's all working. And we've also got some subtitles, so I hope that is also working. I am going to have to speak properly so that it spells it correctly. And I hope that you are all set up for a relaxing 90 minutes, not just 1 minute, but 90 of them that are just for you. So you're going to get a little bit of information about stress and the body and the mind, and you're going to get loads and loads of things to do that are going to make you feel good. A lot of people who do this session find that they sleep really well afterwards. So I hope for that for you, if that's been an issue for you. And just generally feeling like, right, I'm ready for the next bit. So if you've broken up for the Easter holidays and you're using this to switch your mind off so you can properly enjoy your time off, or you're still trugging on, or whatever your situation really, I hope this really helps. So I'm Pam Burrows People Booster, which you may already know, and I work with organisations who want to reduce stress. So I provide wellbeing programs and help them to help their staff to be less stressed, and also to have strategies and policies and procedures and assessments and skilled managers who actually know how properly to support staff who may be in very challenging situations. So if you need some of that, drop me an email, pam@pamburrows.com. But that's not what this is about. This is about you, and it's about thanking you for everything you've been doing, everything you bring to the world, everything that you are, just for being you. Now, tonight, I'm a little bit dressed up. I do tend to overdress anyway, but I'm a little bit dressed up because we're celebrating two things. The first thing we're celebrating is that if you're watching live, today is the day in the UK that you are allowed to meet up to 6 people in your garden. Hurrah! And I went for a walk on the park a little while ago, and it's just stacked out with people socializing on the park and having a lovely time. So that's really nice, especially as the sun has been shining and it's going to be even warmer tomorrow. So that's something to celebrate. And then in this session, we're particularly going to celebrate the vagus nerve. And I'm going to tell you what that is and what it does and why it's worth celebrating. And we're going to be playing around with our vagus nerve because it's very powerful and it plays a huge part in our well-being, in everything, really. It helps us to sleep, to eat, to breathe. It kind of regulates everything in the body. So when the vagus nerve is happy, we're happy. So I'm going to show you some ways of making sure your vagus nerve is delighted and happy. Okay, so before we do anything else, before I tell you all about the vagus nerve, I would like you, if you are here live or if you're watching the recording, to find the comments box. And I'd like you to let me know, how on earth are you? So give me a score out of 10 of your stress levels currently. So 10 out of 10 is steam coming out my ears. 0 would be, I'm very chilled. You might be somewhere in between. So let me know what your level of stress is right now. And a word or two about how you are. Are you feeling frazzled? Is it all a bit overwhelming? Or are you feeling like there's a light at the end of the tunnel? So just describing how things are for you right now, and that would be gorgeous to know. And talking of gorgeous, the gorgeous Annie, my partner who helps me in the business and is rather fabulous, is across the room on her array of technical pieces of equipment. And she's going to be spotting your comments and seeing what it is that you're talking about. And plus, if you've got a question, then drop that in the comments too, or anything particularly you'd like me to help you with. We can always weave in extra things while we're doing these sessions. Well, can if you're live. And Annie's going to flag up any comments that I don't happen to see. So, actually, I've got my phone on this time, and I can see there's some 6s. Annie's put herself on there. 5, all okay, really, bless you. Denise, she's a 4, she's on leave. Yes, Denise, fantastic. Mac, more up than down. Well, yeah, on balance, that's good. I'm just going to scroll back up to see which ones I've missed. Sarika, good evening. Oh, I'm so glad you're all here. Thank you, thank you. And Denise is getting herself sorted. Quite so, quite so. Right, so we've got 4s, we've got 7s, we've got 6s, and yeah, kind of all around the middle, which is great. Now, it may be that you're able to watch this, but you're not able to jot things into the comments. Don't worry, just sit back and enjoy it. That's okay too. And if you want to drop me an email with a question, then please do, or follow me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. I don't do much on Instagram. I think it's for the young people. Or LinkedIn. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. So ask me a question in any of those places, or drop me a personal note at pam@pamburrows.com. Right. So let me tell you about the vagus nerve. And I've made a visual aid because I'm not mad keen on using PowerPoint and other types of technology when we're online like this. I think I like the person. When I'm watching something, I think I want to see a person. Don't want to watch a slide. So I have a range of visual aids that I use for my sessions, and I've made a brand new one today. Now, it's taken me a while, and it may not be completely medically accurate as a demonstration of the vagus nerve, but I'll show you it in just a second. First, I'm going to explain the vagus nerve. So we talk about the circulation system of the blood. We talk about the respiratory system with our breath. We talk about muscles. We talk about the skeleton. You know, people generally know these things about stuff about the body. And then we talk about the nervous system. But generally speaking, I don't know about you, but you may have realized that when we're talking about the nervous system, we kind of talk about feelings and mood and things like anxiety. But we don't really talk about it as if it's a tangible thing in the way that muscles and the skeleton is. And yet it is. The nervous system is a network of nerves all through the body. That sounds familiar. I'm sure we know that. You know, you hit your arm on something and it really hurts and you think, oh, I think I hit a nerve there. You kind of know. And yet when we have emotions, it's like they're separated out from our body. It's like this ephemeral emotional thing that we can't do anything about. Well, I've been fascinated for the last few years about the whole mind body thing, because it's all one, really. It's all in the same package, isn't it? And realizing that our emotions are in our bodies. And what that means, the good news is, we can have an impact on it. So you don't have to stay stuck in a certain feeling, emotion, or mood. We can do something about it. So let me talk to you about the nervous system. It starts at the top of the body and it goes all the way down to the tips of our toes. But the longest cranial nerve is the vagus nerve, and it comes out in 2 bits here from the base of the skull and then makes its way around and down the body. It's the longest cranial nerve, and it has a huge impact on how we feel. When we get all tense and stiff in this part of the body, which happens a lot if you're sitting around a lot, sitting at the computer a lot, playing games on your phone, whatever it is that you're doing, a lot of stiffness around here, the vagus nerve gets very blocked. It doesn't really have room to send all the messages it needs to send to the body and to the brain. So what we want to do is we're going to free up this part of the body this evening in order that the vagus nerve can really just be celebrated for the power that it is. It's what helps us to regulate our breathing and to calm down when we're in stressful situations. So pretty important right now, wouldn't you say? So in order to demonstrate the vagus nerve, then I have this model of the brain. So here's the model of the brain. It's not entirely medically correct. And round the back here, coming out of the base of the skull, at the base of the brain, is the 2 prongs, which are the vagus nerve. Now you can tell that I've worked hard on this. It's taken me a little while, but it's hopefully giving you a bit of a picture in your mind's eye of where we're talking about. It's coming out the base of the skull. Now, some magic about the vagus nerve is there's parts of the body where the vagus nerve is accessible to us. So we're going to do some moves which free up the vagus nerve anyway, but there's certain parts of the body, 2 parts particularly, where we can directly access the vagus nerve and start loosening it up. And we're going to do that. It's a new massage that we're going to do tonight. It's hot off the press. I'm very excited about it. So I'll come on to that in a little while. Right, let me check I haven't missed anything. Yeah, so we're going to start with a little relaxation. One of the things that we know about the vagus nerve is it loves good breathing. So let's just start some of that even before we do anything else. Just relax where you are, breathe a little longer, a little deeper. The other thing it likes is movement. So getting those shoulders moving and easing up the body, taking a walk, being out in the fresh air, all of that good stuff. And the third thing that the vagus nerve really responds well to is vibration. Now, don't get too excited. What this might mean is singing, humming, chanting, even just talking is vibrating the vagus nerve, and it brings it alive. It keeps it in tip-top condition. So what we're going to do is something which is a yogic breath called the bee breath. And all it means is you breathe in as long as you can, as long as it's comfortable for you. And as you breathe out, you just hum, like that. So you're making a little bee noise, a little bee buzzing noise. Now, if you want to take it a little further, you can close your eyes, which is always a good idea when you're doing anything that's relaxing or anything around well-being, where the focus can go inside, because then you get even more power out of the technique, because you're not distracted by everything that's going on, or oh, that paint needs doing, or oh, I haven't washed that up yet, or you're just focused on the inside. So closing the eyes is a really good idea when we're doing these things. Then if you want to take it a bit further still, you can cover your eyes with your hands so that you are in darkness, and then use your thumbs to not put your thumb in your ear. That would be a bad idea, but just to fold that flap over your ear. So you've got your eyes covered and your ears closed, and then do the bee breath. If you want to take it up another level, you can slightly touch your teeth so that your teeth also vibrate. Now, some people hate it, some people love it. Just have a go, have a test, see what suits you. Okay, so we're going to take 10 bee breaths. And what I recommend is if you, while we're doing it, you're kind of counting on your fingers as we do each breath. And what that does is gives the brain something else to do. The more things we give the brain to do when we're doing these kinds of stress reduction techniques, the less able the brain is to go, oh, what about work today? And I can't believe what they said. And oh, I'm so stressed. Just has no time for that, because we're making it busy with the well-being. So we're counting 10 breaths. Your breath may be shorter, maybe longer than mine. So if you finish before me, just sit with your eyes closed, hands in your lap, and just breathe and just notice how you feel. And if you're still working at it when I've finished, then just take your time and finish as and when you want to. Okay, right, let's begin. So I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to hold my hands up so you can see me counting if you do kind of open your eye to see where we're up to. And we'll finish at 10. Okay, right, nice deep breath in. And hum the breath out. Hmm.
Relax your hands in your lap, still with the eyes closed. Just notice how you feel. Can you feel those two little beginning parts of the vagus nerve feeling freed up by the vibration? Do you feel like the top half of your body is buzzing a little bit? Just notice, observing, being kind in your mind. And then open your eyes. And if you need to, just ease the neck and shoulders out a little bit. You might want to roll your shoulders. And I don't know if you noticed, I noticed after the first couple of breaths, I realized I was concentrating and my shoulders were up here. And I was like, oh gosh, I brought some tension in. So I just softened those down. So you might want to notice those kinds of things. You're concentrating on one form of relaxation, you bring tension in another way. Let's not beat ourselves up about it. We'll just notice so that next time we can do it a little bit more intensively, where we're getting all of the different bits relaxing. So I'd love it if you're able to enter into the comments box, whether you're watching it live or on catch up. How was it for you, darling? How was the bee breath? And what did you notice afterwards? So yeah, just got some more numbers coming in there, 6 and a 7. So I'll wait for that because it's there's a little bit of a lag between me live in Zoom and you getting it live on the YouTube live stream. So I'll just do the next little bit while I'm waiting for your thoughts coming in on that one. And it just rolls on really from what we just did and what I was saying there about bringing tension in when we're concentrating. So the things that happen when you're concentrating, one is that you bring tension into the shoulders. The other is we start to breathe short and shallow. The other is we clench the jaw shut. And we stick the tongue to the roof of the mouth and we get a bit frowny in the forehead here. And of bringing tension all the way through. Now, there's a little clue to the special vagus nerve points that we're going to be massaging later, in that the vagus nerve comes up and around the ears and into this jawline here. So when you clench your teeth, you're clenching your vagus nerve. Now, you don't want to be doing that, do you? That's not good for you. And it's not going to help you to regulate the breath, to feel that you can calm all the way down. So let's do something that I call just let go. Well, I'm just going to check in here. Absolutely brilliant on the bee breath. Feeling quite relaxed. Can't believe how quickly it went through 10 counts. Yeah, excellent. Reminds me how tired I am when I'm stopping. Also, the vibration will make my teeth fall out. I hope not. Feels lovely. Noticed I could for longer than 5 breaths. Brilliant. Yeah. So we did it for 10 breaths there. Do you know what? If you did this for 5 minutes, imagine, because the longer you do it, the better it gets, the more impact, because the body really gets to reset the nervous system. It's very exciting when you take the time and decide to have the patience for it, because your patience will be rewarded rather than, no, I haven't got much time, I'll do a little bit. Better to do a little bit than not at all, but do it for longer and really feel the difference, and let yourself sit afterwards. That's also really important. Something that we do in Kundalini Yoga, very important to take that moment in between, because actually in this day and age, and with the craziness of lockdown or the pandemic and all of the stuff that you're doing to support the world and support yourself,
it can mean that you're just going from one thing to the next. So we want to take a little moment in between. Okay, right. So we're going to do just let go. So just let go is a little reminder of the things I just mentioned. J for just is the jaw. So soften the jaw. The U should be forehead, but F didn't make a word. So I'm calling this the upper face. I hope you'll forgive me. Upper face. The S is for shoulders and the T is for tongue. So we're going to relax the shoulders, relax the tongue, relax the upper face, relax the breath, let go of that breath. Okay, we're going to do that all together, all in one lovely smooth movement. Are you ready? So you're breathing in and taking the shoulders up and the eyebrows. And then you're breathing the shoulders back and down as you relax the shoulders, relax the eyebrows, soften the jaw, let the tongue rest in the bottom palate. And let's do that a few more times. Once you've got the hang of it, you can close your eyes. Soften the jaw. Your vagus nerve will thank you. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. And again, just sit, be comfortable in your chair. And then gently open your eyes. It's really funny, actually, when I'm doing workshops, when I'm working with teams, whether it's in person in the olden days or on video calls now, I'll say, right, first off, get comfy in your chair. And almost every time people move. And I think, why is it? I do too. I think, why were we not already sitting as comfortably as we could? Isn't it funny? You might kind of, oh, I'm just going to sit here for a minute and then I'll get up. So you sit on the edge of your chair, or you're just not properly comfortable. You're not kind of nestling into your chair so that your back is properly, that lumbar region down here. It's lovely when you get that feeling of really being properly into your chair. And we just don't do it. We're kind of busy thinking about everything we need to do rather than actually looking after ourselves. Right, just noticing here. Love the new model, by the way. Thank you very much. It did take me at least 30 seconds to create this. It took a longer time to think about it. And I'm hoping I might invest in an actual brain, not an actual brain, but an actual model of a brain. I said to Annie, have we got a cauliflower? Because I thought, oh, cauliflower looks a bit like a brain, and I could stick some little threads on there. That'll be quite fun. And but she didn't know what I was thinking about. So I said, have we got a cauliflower? And she said, we've got some cauliflower cheese in the freezer. Oh, how we laughed when I told her what it was I wanted it for. And we decided the cauliflower cheese wouldn't really work. It's all in florets, so it would be very messy. Right, okay, so that's the just let go technique. I highly recommend you do that in those moments of frustration in your day where you could get very messy, and instead of a mess, it becomes a message, right? The computer is scrolling and driving me crazy. Oh, I'll take a few moments to roll my shoulders and breathe. It's really amazing how very busy people say, I have got no time to relax. And actually, very busy people have lots of little moments of waiting, of frustration, of kind of just, waiting for somebody else to do what they need to do in order that you can do what you need to do. All of those little moments. Grab each of those moments and turn the frustration into freeing up the vagus nerve and just enjoy that moment. And what happens then is when you get to the end of the day, even if you've been really busy and you've got lots done, you won't have kind of built up the tension, and then kind of like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know. Only a bottle of wine will help me now, or massive packet of crisps that says sharing on it, and you have no intention of sharing it. So in that moment of frustration, you could let go. So you've got these little pockets, these little sanity spaces pocketed through your day. And nobody even needs to know. You don't have to share it. But you know what? I wish you would. Because if you start sharing it with friends, family, colleagues, even complete strangers, then we spread the word and everybody can start having a little moment to unwind. Freeing up the vagus nerve helps you breathe better when you loosen up all the muscles excuse me, a hiccup. When you breathe around here, you get the loosen up around here, you get the blood is going much more effectively and efficiently into the brain. You can think more creatively. It just reduces the cortisol and the adrenaline, those stress hormones, which we want to bring down. Right, I am going to do a quick whistle stop tour through the care model. You may have seen this before. If you haven't seen it before and you want to know a little more about it, then have a look round on my YouTube channel, not just yet, because we've got some good stuff to do first. But I've got a video just on the care model that you can look at that talks you through the whole thing. And over the next few months, I will have finished the care model book. I will. I've been saying that for about 3 years, but it really will be in the next few months. So I'm going to give you a whistle stop tour because I wanted to get you thinking, even if you have seen me do this before, to think about how it applies in your team. So how does this play out? So the CARE model, CARE, is an acronym that refers to the 4 key things that I spotted time and time again when I saw people burnt out, when I saw teams that were malfunctioning, fraying at the edges and really struggling. And in fact, whole organizations can fail in these 4 ways. And when we turn them on their heads into this well-being model, then we really can have sustainable well-being. So I wanted to just go through it, specifically thinking about teams. Now, if you're not working in a team currently, then apply it to whoever you do have contact with, even if it's just the delivery person or the people that you're on a video call with or a telephone call, because all of these things still apply. If you are working in a team, whether that's remote or in person, these things are going to be highly relevant. So let's first look at the C of the CARE model. Prizes for guessing, there'll be a bit of a delay, but prizes for remembering what the C stands for in the CARE model. And I'll just leave a gap there. And then I'll give you the answer, which is that it stands for compassion. Not all of that marvelous compassion that you've been showing to everybody over the last few months, or perhaps for your whole life, but compassion on the inside. Being kind in your mind, listening to yourself kindly. So what is it you need? And then acting on those needs. So how often do you notice you're thirsty? You don't go get yourself a drink. You notice you're hungry, but you think, oh, I won't eat yet. I'll push that back a bit, or I'll skip lunch and I'll just go straight to dinner. What is it that you need to listen to? Being kind in your mind. Now, how does that apply to a team? Yes, the team itself can be compassionate to each other. But what I'm talking about in applying the CARE model to a team is how can your team encourage individuals to be compassionate towards themselves? What kind of habits, what kind of standard operating procedure can you have? So, for instance, if you have a team meeting, again, whether that's online or in person, can you start with a little bit of I'm really pleased that I did this week, or this is how I'm feeling. You're just acknowledging how you're feeling with kindness. And then for the team to acknowledge that and show some support to each other. So how can you apply that self-compassion? So it's not just about being compassionate towards each other, but self-compassion to each other in the team. The A of the CARE model. The A of the CARE model is for acknowledge. Now, this one's even easier to do as a team because this is about saying what's gone well. www.whatwentwell. Not getting to the end of the day and beating yourself up for what you haven't got done, or what wasn't perfect, or wasn't at your normal standard, but acknowledging what you have done and who you are, what you bring to everything that you do. What do people compliment you on? And how, as a team, can you embed that? And again, maybe when you have contact with one team member or your whole team, you talk about what's gone well. you might need to praise each other and start complimenting each other to get the ball rolling. Because something that I find is we are not taught to do this, certainly not in the UK or Ireland. There are so many people that I come across who are very shy about saying, I'm good at this, or this is my particular talent, or I did this today and I think it went well. The reluctance to do that is not good for your health. And there's some research which is that which shows that when we're most motivated, not by money, but by the sense of progress. Isn't that interesting? And if you want to know more about that, then I think I mentioned it in the care model video, so have a look there. But this research is very, very interesting because it's and the book that has the research in it is called The Progress Principle. So have a look for the progress principle if you're interested, especially if you're a leader, a manager, a supervisor, because knowing what really motivates staff is really interesting. So there were tens of thousands of journal entries by staff that was used for this research. And what came out was feeling a sense of progress and somebody supporting you towards that progress is actually what motivates us the very most at work. So when you start noticing and encouraging your teammates to notice what's going well, then that's really powerful. Right. Oh my goodness, look at the time. The trouble with this being my favorite model, I go into a bit too much detail. I'm trying to give you a whistle-stop tour and just keep going off and spending a bit long at the monuments and the other things on the tour. Anyway, the R of the care model stands for, oh, well done, Sarika, got compassion there, well done. 10 points to you. And the R is for reality. How many times do you say yes when you should say no because you haven't actually got the time to take on what it is you've just agreed to? How many times do you say no to support or help? Somebody says, do you want some help with that? And you go, no, I'm fine. In reality, you do need some help. So this is about time management. It's about energy management. It's about just noticing what the reality is of what's going on for you. Now, as a team, and even more importantly, as an organization, this is huge. This is, what is the workload? How is it shared out? How is it delivered? How is it that you get a proper audit of where people are at with what they're doing and what they're able to cope with healthily and what they're not able to cope with? And going back to the A for a moment, if people are getting support towards progress, actually, maybe they can cope with a bit more work. But in reality, is it realistic? What are those expectations? And how do you expect people to work in your team? Do you expect people to have meeting after meeting after meeting? And those of you who have shared diaries, this is a huge wake-up call. If somebody's got a shared diary and other people get to put things into that shared diary, two things need to happen. The people putting into that diary need to think twice about making things back to back. When do you get the time for all the other things you need to do? And the person with the diary needs to start putting some things in the diary that aren't necessarily appointments. So you might put in the diary a piece of work that you need to do. It's on your to-do list, but it's not in the diary because it doesn't make a difference to somebody else. It's not impacting directly on somebody else in that moment. So it's just in your list. It's not in your diary. Guess what's going to happen? Get squeezed out because everybody else wants your time. So start putting things in the diary so that and it's not even fibbing. It is stuff you need to do. So diary in the things that you need to do. And it just means that you're basing your expectations for the day on reality. The other thing you can do is plan some gaps for those emergencies that are unexpected in terms of what the emergency is. You can bet your bottom dollar there will be an emergency. Even if you don't know what it is, you can plan for the possibility of it. And a comment here, so true. My manager made me take a reality check the other day when I was about to take more work on. Hurrah for your manager. That's somebody I need to, I tell you what I need to do. I need to give them a gold star. Would you, on my behalf, give your manager a gold star? I have a colleague, because I'm part of the Professional Speaking Association. In fact, I'm a fellow. And a fellow once said on Facebook about pricing, and you need to make sure that your prices are high enough. And he made the comment, a customer will never raise your prices. I thought it's happened to me more than once, actually. Customers said to me, Pam, that's that we can pay you more than that. You're worth more than that. We're going to give you more. And it's a very, very pleasant thing to happen. And it's happened a number of times. So if you get a manager who actually says, you're doing too much, I'm going to take a little off you, or I'm not going to give you this new thing. Absolutely fabulous. That's true compassion, when you see what's happening for somebody else, especially if you're the person who would just keep saying yes. Somebody's standing in for you and saying the no on your behalf. That's really powerful. How fantastic. Right. Last but definitely not least is the E of the care model, which stands for energy, which is really funny because the battery is a bit wonky on this one. There it goes again. The E is for energy. Now, where do you get it from? You get it from food. You get it from sleep. You get it from drinking enough water. Are you doing those things? And are you really listening to yourself with compassion and making those things happen? But there's a fourth thing. The fourth way we get energy. And I'll give you an example of this. When you're, in the olden days when we used to go out and there was music and dancing, and you have been there for a few hours and you're exhausted, and you sit down, you think, oh, I'm just going to sit out for a bit. I'm not going to dance anymore. I'm really tired. And then that song comes on. For me, Earth, Wind and Fire, September. I love that song. There's a number of songs like that. I have to get on the floor. Uptown Funk's another one. Doesn't matter how tired I am, I'm on the dance floor. Even happens on Zoom discos at home. There's only me there, and a certain tune comes on. I've got to dance. Doesn't matter how tired I am. So what's this then? It's finding joy. It's remembering what lights you up. And it's remembering what lights you up, even if it's something you can't do in lockdown or with other restrictions that we might have going on in the future. Still find a way to make it happen. And I just mentioned one, online discos. These things, if they light you up, I have bonfires in the garden. If it's too wet for a bonfire, I might come inside and just burn a stick. And just that wood smoke will make me feel happy. So what is it that lights you up? So eat nutritiously. 10 veg a day, not just 5, 10 veg a day. If you're interested in nutrition, look up Eva Humphries. I'm on her nutrition course right now. It's really, really good. 10 veg a day we're doing. 2 litres of water a day. Keep hydrated and make sure that you're switching off in order to properly rest at bedtime. When you fully relax, and we'll be doing some of this in a bit, and when you sleep and you sleep well, that's when the body gets to do its maintenance. That's when all the little work people come out and they clean the windows and paint the walls and sweep up and get rid of all the stuff that you don't need. That's when that happens. We need to relax in order to maintain our good health. So how are you managing your energy? And what could you do a little bit better starting right now? Okay, so excellent. You're getting some applause for that manager situation. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take a very short break. And during that break, if you haven't yet got your feet into the bubble bath, then please do. If you're not putting your feet in some water, then you might want to fetch some lotion or something so that you can either do the foot massage on your feet or you can do it on your hands. I'll show you how to do both. And if you've already got your water on the go, but you need a top up, then you can top that up right now. Get yourself a drink, nip to the loo, have a little stretch, get yourself a blanket, a cushion, light a candle, whatever you need to do to make this next bit exactly what you need. And what we're going to do is we're going to celebrate the vagus nerve. We're going to do some massage. We're going to do some relaxation. And of course, we'll finish off with a little trip to the Maldives with a little bit of a difference this time in our Maldives relaxation. So I hope you'll enjoy it. Okay, let's take 5 minutes. My clock says 7:10. So let's come back 7:15 with you ready to go, whether you've got your feet in the water or not. Come back and we'll get started in 5 minutes. Okay, see you in a bit. And if you have any questions for me, please feel free to drop those into the comments box. And if you're watching on catch up, you could fast forward this bit if you want to for 5 minutes. Or you can just sit and watch me twiddling my thumbs, really. And do some deep breathing while you're doing that. Okay, I'm going to have a little drink. I'm all right, thank you. Oh, lovely. If you are just sitting waiting for me to start again, feel free to just do some deep breathing. Do it with your eyes closed, even more powerful. And here's Charlie. Charlie. This is the what do they do in the football match? Halftime entertainment. You want to say hello, Charlie? Hello. She says, no, not really. I would like some treats. Here you go. And here's Molly. I won't pick Molly up because she will scratch me. Yeah, she will. If you have a look on my YouTube channel for the, what did I call them? Breakfast boosters. I did 33 of them all together last year. And oh, that reminds me, I didn't post one this morning. I've been posting the replays. And a lot of those, I'm in the garden. And the third cat, who's Roger the Dodger, is in a lot of those. So you might enjoy those. A little booster every morning that I did in the first lockdown. Power's going on my phone. It's amazing, isn't it? It can be as organized as you like, and then the battery always goes on something or other right when you don't want it to. I'm also enjoying my lockdown hair, which keeps flopping everywhere. Yes. Looking forward to getting that trimmed. I don't mind it so much. I don't like these bits at the back. They keep looking like a schoolboy's hair when it tips up on his blazer. Right. Okay. Another minute. Annie, can you just pour that flask into there for me? I dropped the lid into my bubble bath, so I haven't put it back on because it's soapy. Not the last spa, but the one before that is a couple of weeks ago that I was doing for an organisation. I dropped a book in my bubble bath. I was a bit miffed. My daughter's puppy kept drinking my lavender foot bath a couple of spas ago. Oh, bless you. That's so sweet. It must taste foul, but they don't bother, do they? A previous cat I had, Cleopatra, she used to like to lick the bubbles off my toes when I was in the bath. So I'd put my foot and she'd she'd keep on licking and licking, and she absolutely loved it. It must have tasted so soapy. Crazy animals. Right, I'm going to put my feet in. And just to share with you, I do have my tutu on today. I was feeling so chipper about the weather and the slight lift of restrictions. Such good news. And this is something new, which is the first time I've worn it as well. I hope you like it. It's a little shrug, especially for ladies of a certain age, where the tops of your arms are things that are best kept private. You might know what I mean. But yeah, when we do the shake your arms up here, and then if I've just got a vest top on, like, people don't need to see that. Right. Okay. The trouble with these ad-lib bits, I just end up saying things I might regret. Okay. Right, we are at the point now then where we've had a 5-minute break. I hope that you have returned and that you are ready now with either with your feet in the water or that you've got some lotion on the side. And if you've got your feet in the water, that's great. And the things that I normally share with you at this point, I realize I've put out of my reach. So I'm just going to lean over here. Had a feeling there was something obvious I'd forgotten. And those of you who've done these before and know me well will be horrified that it's something I might have forgotten. Epsom salts. Oh my goodness, how important are these? So if you haven't got some this time, don't worry, get some for next time. Put them in your bath. Buy the cheap ones. You don't have to buy them with anything in them. You can get a massive bucket full off the internet, 10 litres, or you can just get them from Boots. And then spend the rest of your money on an essential oil. Really go the whole hog on an essential oil and get the posh ones, because when they're pure, oh, this one's lavender. Some people don't like lavender because it smells like old ladies' drawers, if you know what I mean. And you can try geranium or rose, perhaps. They're also good for relaxation. And then you put that in the water, and the Epsom salts, they're used by sports people for bringing the strain out of muscles. They're really, really quite magical things happen with Epsom salts. So you can put it in your foot bath, but you could also put it in your whole bath, you know, get your whole body in there. Great for backache and that kind of thing. So we've got our feet in the water, or at least some of us have. But we're just going to leave them there for now. It sounds like a cookery program. We'll leave those basting over there while we chop the onions over here. And what we're going to do is, Annie's laughing at me, we're going to focus on the top half of the body. Why? Because of the vagus nerve. Very, very important. So I'm going to take off my real diamonds. And we're going to start moving this upper body. Now, the adrenal glands are in the base of the spine here near the kidneys, and the adrenal glands can get a little bit clogged up. So we're going to do something called the adrenal twist. Now, the other thing that happens when we're affecting the adrenal glands with this twist is that we're also loosening up this top half of the body. The vagus nerve loves this move. So I hope you will too. Now, if you've got aches and pains, problems, difficulties, please just do what you're comfortable with. There's no need to strain yourself, and none of this should be painful. Just do whatever you can do. And if there's something where you have to sit out entirely, then just sit and do some deep breathing, just watch the screen. You could even do something, there was some research where people watched other people doing athletics and in the gym and imagined themselves doing it and got fitter. Yes, I think it sounds great. So you can't just watch other people. You have to imagine yourself doing it, but then the muscles start reacting as if they've done that particular activity. Crazy. Who knew? So if you need to sit out, that's fine. But if you're comfortable with it, we're going to put the hands on the shoulders, thumbs at the back, fingers at the front. If you want to do the twist, but putting your arms up is a little difficult, you can do it like this. Just put one hand on each arm. And we're going to twist to the left and breathe in, and twist to the right and breathe out. We're going to do it with the eyes closed. You're going to take your focus inwards. So you can watch me a couple of times if you want to, but then please do it with your eyes closed. Go at the pace that's right for you. So this is how it's taught. But if you want to do it more quickly, more slowly, just do what's right for you. Breathing in as you go to the left and breathing out as you go to the right. And continue doing that at the pace that feels right for you. Remember to take your head with you. So the head and the shoulders are staying in one aspect, and you're twisting from the waist, easing your spine out as well. The vagus nerve is getting very, very happy. Those twirly blue strings getting very happy. And then if you want to add another layer to this, as you twist to the left, imagine you're breathing in a healing white light. And as you twist to the right and breathe out, imagine you're letting go of what you don't need. And you might know that there's something you need to let go of, somebody's criticism or high expectations that were unrealistic, or comments or worries that you've had, might be anything. But you could just let go anyway. You don't even need to think specifically. You could just imagine you're just letting go of what you don't need. So breathe into the left, healing white light. Breathe out to the right, let go of anything you don't need. We're going to do this just for a little while longer. If you feel the need to take a break, do, but then start again so that you just do these last few. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Still with your eyes closed. Just let the hands rest in your lap. Sit comfy and just notice how you feel. This is another move from Kundalini Yoga. And in Kundalini, we sometimes do these things for 11 minutes. Very, very powerful. Breathing in, breathing out, and just noticing how you feel. And then open your eyes and just roll your shoulders a couple of times, because when you've had your arms up like that, it might bring a little tension in. So just loosen that up. Okay, how's it feeling? Do let me know. If you're just fully immersed in what we're doing and you don't want to bother yourself typing, that's absolutely fine. But if you do want to say, how do you feel about the Adrenal Twist? I'd love to know. So we're one down of the magic 3. First of the magic 3 is the Adrenal Twist, and the second is the camel ride. So it's like cat-cow if you've done that in yoga, where you're on all fours, but we're not going to be on all fours. We are going to be just pushing the chest forward as we breathe in, and then curling the spine as if you're a little turtle shell as you breathe out. And what we're basically doing is we're curving the spine one way, and then we're curving it in the other way. And this counter posing in yoga is very powerful. If you've been sitting like this quite a lot, maybe been driving, maybe at the computer, maybe reading, whatever it is, then doing the counter pose to that is going to loosen up all of the muscles around here. The vagus nerve is going to love it, and that's going to make you feel good. So I'm just noticing here, Sarika, good but quite exhausting. Yes, how amazing. A workout doesn't need to be at the gym. We don't have to be jogging, but you will feel the difference. You're getting the whole of the nervous system spruced up here. Brilliant. Elizabeth, a little lightheaded, but feels refreshing. Yes, they're quite short, sharp breaths there. So it's good to take that moment afterwards. Just let your breathing just resettle. Fantastic. Glad you felt there a bit of a difference happening there. Okay, so this one's a little bit slower, and get started whenever you like. You push the chest forward as you breathe in. Curl the back as you breathe out, and then just keep doing that. If you want to do this swiftly, if that feels all right for you, you can, but don't kind of joggle the head backwards and forwards. The head kind of stays, the chin kind of stays level. You push forward, curl back, and just find that rhythm. Breathing in as you push forward, filling the lungs, breathing out, curving the spine. There's a saying in yoga that you're as young as your spine is. And what you're doing right now is encouraging the spine to lubricate and to be more flexible. So you're bringing youth into your spine. Look at that. You're younger than you were when you started this call. Well done, you. Okay. Right. We're going to do 5 more of those. That's my 5. If you're still going because you're doing it at a slower pace, that's fine. And then just stop when you've done. Hands in your lap. Breathe. Notice how you feel. Giving yourself a little sanity space, a little moment to notice what's going on. Just to be. Okay, right. Now we are coming on to something which in the Feel Good Club is just the favoritist thing. It's something which I have found very powerful during lockdown and before that, but particularly during lockdown. And it really does reset the nervous system. It's really quite powerful. And so what we're going to do is we're going to begin to shake our hands. There's something which is said in parts of Africa to be used as medicine. That's how good it is to reset the nervous system and bring you to a sense of calmer well-being. Right, now the elbows, then the shoulders, all the arms, flapping about, easing up all those muscles. You're letting go of what you don't need. Yay! And then start to shake the hands sideways as if you're flicking off water. And if you've got trouble with your neck and shoulders, just stay here doing this. But if it's comfortable for you, take the hands above the head. This is when it becomes really, really impactful for the vagus nerve, for your energy levels. This is an alternative to the biscuit tin in the afternoon when you're working from home and you're really trying not to eat all that stuff that's there. And you feel that afternoon slump and you're not really sure what to do with yourself and you're heading for the things I'm not supposed to be eating. Just do this for a few minutes. In fact, put Taylor Swift on YouTube, shake it off. 3.5 minutes of this. Shake your legs. You can do it standing up. Shake the whole body. You will totally change the way that you feel. Okay, we're going to carry on for this for 5 more seconds. So I want you to really go for it. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then eyes closed, hands in your lap. Just notice. You'll feel the blood pumping. You might feel a little fizzy. You might start to realize where in the shoulders you've been stiff, maybe in the neck. But you're just allowing the breath to settle, observing with compassion. Remember the C of the care model, being kind to yourself and noticing how you feel. Gently open your eyes. And let's just do a little stretch up and then a lean to the left, a lean to the right, a roll back of the shoulders, just bringing yourself back into the moment. So let me know in the comments what you thought of the camel ride, what you thought of the shaky dakey, and how you feel now. So you've done the magic 3, and I really recommend you repeat these whenever you think about it. Do it in the morning, do it before you go to bed. Great way to free up yourself before you try and go to sleep, just letting go of any tension. It's reducing the cortisol, one of the stress hormones that we get when we're very busy and when there's a lot going on. And when we start to release the cortisol and bring freedom to the vagus nerve by easing up all these things in the top half of the body, then we're more likely to be able to sleep well. So, and that's what I want for you. You're working hard. You need to sleep hard too. Okay, Sarah enjoyed the shaking. Excellent. Do more of it. Honestly, it's the most magical thing. I've done it when I felt grief, you know, when my dad died not long ago, and when I felt the grief coming up, I did 3 minutes of shaking. When I feel exhausted but I've got to go and do something, I would do 3 minutes of shaking, you know, because when I say exhausted, you know, if you've been sitting about on the computer, you can feel really tired, but actually it's not like you've done a Tough Mudder, you know, a salt course. It's that you kind of you're all sluggish because you've been sitting around. Your energy hasn't been used up. It's just been kind of something's put the lid on it. So just have a quick shake. If you've got time to have a quick walk outside, fantastic. But if you haven't, even if you just shake your hands. Now, if you are actually going out working in a team or with your customers, clients, service users, whoever they are, talk to them about this, because they will love it too. And also when you know, if they catch you doing it, they'll know that you're not having some kind of terrible seizure or whatever. So that's probably a good idea to warn them about that. Right. I've been building in the shake it off when I need a bit more stamina for a task. Oh my gosh. Yay. Gold star, gold star. Oops. I've lost my silver star now. Uh-oh. I think it's gone in the water. Oh no, it's here. It's here. We're all right. It's all right. Don't panic. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. And Sarika, they have all been great, but realized I'm not that fit after a year of lockdown. I'm exhausted. Unbelievable. Now, here's the thing. I don't think those things have exhausted you. I'm sorry to contradict you. It may be that they have exhausted you. Perhaps they have to some extent. But I think what's more likely is you were already exhausted, and now we've taken all the tension out and you've slowed down and the adrenaline's gone, because adrenaline is like false fuel and it's a bit of a painkiller. So it kind of acts in fact, here's the thing. They call adrenaline doctor theatre, because when actors are about to go on stage, they can be really, really poorly. But when they go on stage and they get the adrenaline of the live performance, all the symptoms disappear. And for the time of the performance, they have no pain, no symptoms. They're absolutely fine. Afterwards, keel over, even poorlier than they were beforehand. But this is the thing when we're really busy. We've got that adrenaline. It keeps us going. It masks what's really happening. Then when we release the tension and we slow down and we just open it all up, we realize just how tired we are. So it might be a bit of both. I realize that was a bit harsh of me to contradict you. Okay, right. So we've done the magic 3. And now we're going to do the shoulders. So hopefully we're a little bit looser already. But one of the things that we know is this big muscle here. I think of it like being a big chunk of steak. You know, when you actually feel it, it really is like a big hunk of meat there. It's a fillet steak. Sorry, especially if you're vegetarian. I apologize. That's the trouble seeing me live. Right. Okay. So we're going to use this movement. We're going to hold this big trapezius muscle here. I want you to give it a big squeeze and a big breath in. Hold that breath for a moment or two. And then let go of the muscle, let go of the breath. And then we're going to carry on. Thank you, Sarika. We're going to carry on squeezing and letting go. You might want to stay there, or you might want to go from the neck down to the shoulder and then back up again. If you want to, you can go over a little bit into the shoulder blade and get your fingers, do some circles with your fingers in the shoulder blade area there, where the muscle goes down from the shoulder, down the side of the body, wherever it feels a little bit stiff. Now, it's really important, if you don't do this very often and you have got quite a lot of stiffness, is to be firm but kind. That compassion again. So rather than, oh, I haven't been exercising enough, and oh, I'm so stiff, I've been sat around too much, and you're beating yourself up. So you're like, right, I'm going to really get my knuckles in here and I'm going to give it a real, no, the stress built up little by little, and that's how we want to release it, little by little, with kindness and compassion. Breathe while you're doing this, because the breathing is going to relax the vagus nerve and it's going to relax the muscles. You just notice how much further you can stretch when you're breathing deeply compared to when you're breathing shallow. Okay, right. One more squeeze of that big trapezius muscle. Take a big breath in. Hold it a moment. Smile and let it go. And now we're going to dust the shoulder. This affects the fascia, which is just below the surface, and all the nerve endings in the skin. But I like to think of it as just dusting off the stuff you don't need. Other people's nonsense, OPN, not my stuff, other people's stuff. Okay, no prizes for guessing what's next. But just before we do, just have a notice of the difference between one shoulder and the next. This next one definitely feels like it needs doing. And I have to admit, I had maybe 3 or 4 weeks where the work I was doing for customers online was more kind of workshops, and we weren't doing the spa stuff. And oh my goodness, I could really feel the difference. So I want to thank you for giving me a reason to be doing it for myself tonight as well. Okay, let's do the next one then. We're going to take that big muscle, give it a big squeeze and a big breath in. Hold it. Smile. And let go. Right, keep squeezing. Have a little mooch around. Keep breathing nice and long and deep. And think to yourself, where does it feel like I need this movement, this softening to happen? And imagine in your mind's eye that you're breathing into that part of your neck or shoulder. Nice long breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. I'm going to have a go around that shoulder blade there. Ooh, that feels good. And we're not aiming by the end of this session for you to be a qualified massage therapist, but we are hoping that you get to know your body a little better, treat it a little bit more kindly, give you what you need, even though you can't pop out and get a massage. You can do some stuff yourself. Okay, let's come back to that big trapezius. Give it a big squeeze, a big breath in. And breathe out. And let's dust it off. Lovely. Letting go of what you don't need. Right, a little roll of the shoulders. Now, I've got a surprise for you. I know I've been building up the tension. It's so exciting. We are going to directly impact on the vagus nerve. And how are we going to do that? Well, let me just get my model again. My almost lifelike model of the brain and the vagus nerve. And what happens is the vagus nerve, in fact, it's doing it here. Look, the vagus nerve goes right around the ears. So that's the surprise. We're going to do ear massage tonight, and we're going to do it because we can impact the vagus nerve. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to do one ear at a time. And you're going to use your finger. Now, there's the ear canal. Don't put your finger in there. There's the ear canal. And then just above it, there's a little ledge. And we're going to put the finger just above that ledge. So let me see if I can show you. It's going, I'm pointing to where we're going in. We're going in there. So we're not in the ear canal. There's a ledge there, and we're just above it. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see with my lockdown hair in the way. We're just here. Can you see it? Yeah, okay, thank you. And we're just going to do little circles. And you might be able to feel a little bit of crunching, a little bit of clicking. And we're impacting directly here on the vagus nerve. I want you to breathe long. This is very powerful. Keep the breath long. Focus on it. Brilliant. Okay, now we're going to go up a little bit into this bit, and we're going to Put some pressure here, little circles. Breathe long and deep, just here. And then we're going to just pull gently, pulling the ear out a little bit, quite firmly. Don't hurt yourself. Do it with compassion. And then we're going to pull the ear up a little bit. And we're going to pull the ear down a little bit. Lovely. Right. Now, here's a weird thing. I want you to just feel the ear that you've done and the ear that you haven't done. And I don't know about you, but this ear that I've done feels softer. Who knew you got tension in your ears? Right. Okay, let's do it this side. So not in the ear canal, just above that ledge, little circles. Breathe. Breathing is the fastest, most effective way to bring us back to calm. Lovely. Firmly with compassion. And then let's go up a little bit into that next bit here. Breathing, circling. Delicious. Right, let's pull the ear a little bit out. Pull the ear a little bit up. Pull the ear a little bit down. Lovely. Now let's take both hands and just rub the lobes and all around the ears. Just giving them a little love. Okay, now we're not going to do a head massage today because we're using the time on other things, and I don't like to get too repetitive with everything the same every time. But if you'd like to do a little head massage now, please do. If you or if you want to follow me, I'm going to do a little face tapping. So if you've got glasses, move them out the way, and just going to tap all over the face, just waking up all of those nerve endings. Or if you'd rather put your hands into your head, give yourself a head massage, perhaps around the jaw, around the temples, around the head, around the base of the spine, wherever you feel you want to give yourself some focus. Lovely. Okay, and then come to stillness and notice how you feel. And let me know what you thought of the ear massage. Did you notice any difference between one ear and the next? And yeah, just notice how you are so far. Right, I better get a move on because we are nearly at finishing time. I've still got my feet in the water. So what we're going to do now is you're going to dry your left foot. And you're going to dry your left foot as if it's the foot of somebody really precious, really important, somebody very dear to you, somebody you absolutely adore. Because actually, that's how you should be treating yourself. Now, if you're just lotioning your feet, that's fine. Put your lotion on now. If you're just doing your hands, if you want to put some lotion on your hands to make it easier to massage, that's absolutely fine too. So we're going to do a little bit of reflexology. So apologies for showing you the sole of my foot. Here it is in its reflexology sock. And you can see here that the reflexology is all about how different parts of the feet relate to different parts of the body. Now, that might have sounded a little bit kooky at some point, but when you realize that the nerves that come out of the brain go all the way down the body to the feet, passing by your kidneys, your spleen, all the other bits and bobs, it all makes sense. The nervous system is a system, just like the skeleton. It goes from the top to the bottom and it's all connected. So we're going to first off start with the tips of our toes, or if you're doing your hand, the tips of your fingers, and that represents your sinuses. So you're giving a little bit of love to the sinuses. Then the thumb or the big toe, depending on what you're doing, which represents the head and the neck. Give it some love. Then we're going to come to the eyes and the ears, which is the pads beneath the toes or the pads of the hand. And then we're going to come to the heart and the lungs, which is around the ball of the foot. Little circles, being kind but firm. Over here to the heart and the shoulder. And then we're going to come down the foot. Now, if you imagine this as a person, and the same with the hand, this is the sinuses, and then we're going down the body, and this is the sciatic nerve here. So if you just think about it, we're going from the top of the body to the bottom, literally. So this area here is around the lungs, and then the middle of the foot is the stomach, the adrenal glands, the kidneys, the small intestine, and then coming all the way to the sciatic nerve. You might want to spend more time on this, and you could do that while you're watching the telly, giving it some love. Right, then we're going to give our foot a round of applause. Hurrah! Stimulating thousands of nerve endings. And if you're doing your hands, clap your hands, but also on the back of your hands as well. Get all those nerve endings excited. Okay, right. Guess what? The right foot now, or the right hand. Drying it as if it's the foot of somebody you really adore. And, since ancient times, washing the feet of somebody was a sign of respect and love and attention. How much time do you spend on your own feet, and what do your feet do for you? My goodness. So we're taking a little time to thank our feet and show them a little bit of love. And you don't need to get yourself a pair of these reflexology socks. You could if you wanted to. But you could just Google reflexology map and just have that on your device while you're rubbing your feet. But equally, you could just rub your feet and do what feels good for you. And if you find something that feels a little bit crunchy, go a little bit careful, because it might be a bit sore. That's where the calcium's built up, where there's been some tension. And just notice what feels good for you. This isn't about becoming a qualified reflexologist either. It's about just spending a little bit of time with your feet, So the right foot then. Sinuses at the top here. Let's give them some love. Then rubbing the big toe, which is the head and neck. Then beneath the toes, the eyes and ears. The same with the hands, eyes and ears. Doing little circles. Doing whatever feels right for you. Easing that out. Over here is the liver. And the heel of the hand, and also the side of the foot. And around the arch here is the stomach. What's in the bit here? Look, there we go. Right, so little circles all the way down your foot to the heel, where we have the sciatic nerve. All good stuff going on then. And finishing off with applause for your foot. Giving it some love. Well done, foot. Or hands, if you're doing your hands. Now, we've been focused on our feet. We've been maybe bending over a little bit, maybe a little awkward position. So let's just roll our shoulders and let go of any tension we might have brought in accidentally there. Lovely. Okay, just catching up here. Nice, love the massaging of shoulders, ears and face. Lovely. I think they look great. So interesting. It is very interesting. The very first time I went for reflexology was in the days before, now you have to fill in a form about what ailments you've got. There they just did it and that was it. And but I got some really bad stomach problems at the time, and when she massaged the bit where my stomach was, I thought she'd stuck a acupuncture needle in it or something. The pain was unbelievable, and I had tears rolling down my face, but I didn't say anything. And then at the end she said to me, have you got any stomach problems? And I was like, oh, that's incredible. So it all joins up, and it isn't a mystery. It isn't a kind of woo-woo, what's the word, hippy-dippy thing. It's the body is all connected, and we take that for granted. We don't realize it. A little book, if you haven't heard me mention it before, is called When the Body Says No by Gabor Mate. And what he talks about in there is when we keep cramming everything in, when we don't tell people how we feel, where we go, no, I'm fine, don't worry about me, causes illness in the body. It gets locked in our nervous system and it causes ailments. So do look after your very precious self. Right, so we've done the reflexology. And it's time to head to the Maldives, my darling. Right, let's get that sorted. So get as comfortable as you can where you are. If you want to lie down, lie down. If you've got a blanket, a cushion, whatever you need to do, get really snuggly. And do look at the screen just for the next wee while. But shortly, you will just be closing your eyes. But just for now, have a look at the screen. You will just be closing your eyes, but just for now, Maldives. Have a look at the screen. Breathing in, you will breathing out. Just be closing your eyes, but just for now, Maldives. Have a look at the screen. Breathing in, you will breathing out. Just be closing your eyes, but just for now, Maldives. Have a look. Screen. Breathing in, you will breathing out. Just be closing your eyes, but just for now, have a look. Screen. Breathing in, you will breathing out. Just be closing your eyes, but just for now, have a look. Screen. Breathing in, you will breathing out. Just be closing your eyes, but just for now, have a look. Screen. Breathing in, you will imagining away. Just be closing your eyes, but just for now, have a look. Breathing in, you will imagining away. Just be closing your eyes, but just for now, have a look. Breathing in, you will imagining away. Just be closing your eyes, but just for now, have a look. Breathing in, you will imagining away. Just be closing your eyes, but just for now, have a look. Breathing in, you will imagining away. Just be closing your eyes, but just for now, have a look. Breathing in, you will imagining away. Just be closing your eyes, but just for now, have a look. Breathing in, you will. Oops. I do apologise. Something went a little bit awry there. Right. Okay. Okay, so apologies. I don't know what, that's never happened before, but there we go. These are the sorts of things that happen in life, aren't they? Little stresses, little challenges, things we weren't expecting. So we can do this without the video. You've seen it now. I would like you to imagine that you are there. So just relax and eyes gently closed. Start to focus on your breath, the rise and fall of your chest. And thinking about that sea gently rolling into the shore. And imagining that ebb and flow of the sea is in tune with the ebb and flow, the rise and fall of your breath. There's the taste of salt on the air. The sunshine is warming your face. The deep, dark, green tropical plants are growing, and there are flowers scented in the air. feeling all of your muscles soften and relax. And as you relax on this beautiful beach, you decide to take a little walk towards the water. And the soft, warm sand is beneath your feet. And as you walk towards the water, where the sand is a little firmer, you start to see that there are fish in the water. And for a moment, you imagine what it would be like to be a fish, able to breathe in the water, able to use your gills and swim about just as easy as a fish shining silver in the water. And beneath the water you can see all kinds of fish, every colour of the rainbow. Beautiful tropical turquoise and yellow and red, and you can see coral. So many beautiful things. And as you swim, you see a dolphin, and then another dolphin, and now there are 3 dolphins and you're swimming with them, moving through the water so swiftly you can hardly believe how fast you're going, but it's so calm and shiny and sleek as you move through the water, like cutting a knife through butter. And it's as if the dolphins are looking round and laughing with you, and you're laughing with them, and you're swimming so fast, and you start to play, and then you dive out of the water and do an arc as the dolphins huge flips out of the water and then back into the water again, and then gently turning around and coming back towards the shore. You smile to the left, you smile to the right, breathing in the water, feeling completely comfortable in this beautiful place. And gradually coming all the way towards the shore, until you then find your feet and walk towards the beautiful place you were sitting before, and lying down, laughing to yourself at what just happened, feeling the sun drying the seawater on your skin. You feel out of breath, but in a really good way. And you rest until your breath once more returns to its natural pace. The sun warms your skin. There's a cool breeze around your head. And you know that this beautiful place is yours. Anytime you wish to, you can come back here and have some fun, some peaceful time. This is a place just for you. And then, knowing that all of that is safe inside you to access any time, you begin to wake up, moving the body a little, easing one shoulder, the other shoulder, stretching nice and long, easing the body out, maybe bringing your knees up to squeeze into your chest a little bit, rolling your shoulders, easing out your head and neck, and opening your eyes, knowing that although you've come back from the beach, you can go back any time you need to. If you've got any energy left to write in the chat, do let me know how you found your swim with the dolphins. And to know that if you want the full version, there's a different version where you fly like a bird, which is on my YouTube channel. Just look for Virtual Holiday and you can enjoy, I think it's about 20 minutes long, the full version. So I'm sorry about the sound there. That was not very relaxing, was it? But hopefully we recovered from it. I hope you're feeling nicely relaxed. Okay, so how are you now? Let me know how you are. What are your stress levels? Give me a number out of 10, what your stress levels feel like right now. And let's take one arm on, asking you to type and then asking you to use your hands, to have one hand on each arm, on the opposite arm. And we're going to do a little mini adrenal twist here. And this one is a little bit of a sneaky hug. Close your eyes and imagine that you're having the loveliest hug with the most gorgeous person. Can be anybody you want. You're having a little squeeze and it's feeling good, because even a pretend hug gives us a rush of oxytocin, the feel-good chemical that helps us feel alive as a human being. And it also makes our vagus nerve very happy, which of course is what we're focused on. So let me just have a little look what's going on for you. Okay, so we did come back from there and you did feel relaxed in the end, thank goodness. Warm fuzzy feeling, good. It was lovely. Perfect rescue, bless you. Really enjoyed it, feel wonderfully relaxed, ready for the rest of my leave. And that's the thing, you know, we think, oh, well, I don't need to rest because I've got leave anyway. But actually, sometimes we don't really properly get into the leave before we release all of that tension. So hopefully you can really properly enjoy that now. And Kate, lovely session. Thanks. I feel so much better. Oh, down to a 3, down to a 0. Yay! Fantastic. And of course, if we were in person right now, I'd be giving you a star sticker. You could choose gold or silver, but hey, they're digital. You can have both. And the idea is to remind you that you are a star. S-T-A-R, someone truly amazing. And when you get shy and say, really, that's what the R is for. Yes, really. So find a star, print out a star, draw a star, have it as a screensaver. Remind yourself that you deserve being looked after. And remember the care model. Be kind in your mind with compassion. Acknowledge what you're doing and what you bring to the world. Be realistic about what you plan for yourself and make sure that you are getting energized. And of course, every last Monday of the month, we have one of these. So put it in your diary. I put myself the date. It's April 26th, Monday, April the 26th. Get it in your diary. I haven't released the tickets yet, but you know, the tickets aren't an issue because we can have as many people as we like on YouTube. What we don't necessarily always have is the time. So if you put it in your diary now and say, there ain't nothing moving that's sacrosanct, then you have got that space for you to recharge your batteries. And you can't keep going out there being as fabulous as you are without something put in your tank to recharge you. So make sure that you prioritize what you need to be able to do what you do in the world. And thank you so much. Thank you for joining me live. And if you're watching the catch up, thank you for watching the catch up. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that if you have a team who needs a session like this or more of a traditional workshop online on well-being, we can do that too. So email me pam@pamburrows.com. But most importantly, get what you need. Sign up to my YouTube, just click subscribe on YouTube and then you'll find out when all new videos come on. And sign up if you haven't already on my website, pamburrows.com, to the Monday message. And every Monday morning, you'll get a little email to remind you of some of these things. Right, have I said everything I wanted to tell you about? Yes, that's everything, except I love you. I love you for joining in with me. I love you for giving me a reason to do this and look after myself. And I hope that the rest of your evening and the rest of your week is utterly wonderful. Please, please, please look after your very precious self. That's everything from me. Give me a shout if I can help with anything else. Okay, bye for now. See you. Lots of love.